room and there's PowerPoint and HR people and lawyers. You know how awful that is? This is going to be 10 times worse. Here's Todd.
Before I start, so if people don't know this, Bo actually is a DJ at a radio station in Chicago. He does the traffic. You get the traffic updates, so if anyone needs to know the travel time from the dance floor to the bathroom, go to Bo. He can help you out there and give you the travel updates. Anyway, honestly. Compassionate, loyal, trustworthy, great friend. But enough about me, let's talk about the groom. So, I first met Matt freshman year at Kent State, and that's it. So before I start, when I say Nagy, I mean Matt Nagy, not to be confused with all the other Nagys here today. Nagy's the only guy I know that, ever since I've known him, he's always gone by just a single name, like Madonna, Prince, or Bono. He's just always gone by Nagy. And like Bono and U2, Nagy also experiences a lot of Sunday Bloody Sundays every time his Browns play, and they usually get massacred by their opponent. So he has a lot more in common than you think. So. Including people I'm sure like that one. So like I said, I met Nagy freshman year at Kent State, and I remember Matt Ryan and I walking into his dorm room and thinking, wow, this guy has a lot of food and a pretty cool TV and couch setup. So I remember saying to Matt Ryan, we should make friends with this guy, even if he turns out to be a wacko. Turns out I was right about the wacko part, but I was also right about Nagy always having food and me taking advantage. And whether it was Nagy paying for half my meals at Kent State, picking me up in the middle of the night at the Cleveland airport, or whether it was all of us getting a ride from him to the world-famous East Park in Ravenna, Ohio, we made Nagy do it all for us. So I think at one point Nagy was actually paying for my tuition too at Kent. So, yeah. So after living in Ohio for a couple of years, I decided I wanted to move to Chicago, and I knew the only friend that I could convince would be Matt. In fact, when I told my current roommates at the time, Matt Ryan and Brian Kelly, I'd never seen two people more happier in my entire life when I told them that I was thinking of moving out. If I remember right, I think Brian even offered to help pack me up, just to help to speed up the process, to get me out of there as soon as possible. So anyways, Nagy and I in college, we had heard of this mystical creature called a woman, but like four-leaf clovers, unicorns, or a Cleveland team winning a championship, we weren't sure it actually existed. But that all changed when Nagy joined a kickball league in Chicago. Can anybody guess where the kickball people are sitting tonight? So, having never been on a kickball team or played on a league, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I'm pretty sure you're not an official team member unless you've either dated or been in love with half the team or the league at some point during the season. But as the story goes, Nagy was on one team and Nancy was on the other team. And for whatever reason, Nancy most likely saw Nagy probably spaz out on the kickball field or slam his cup down at Nick's Beer Garden while playing flip cup, and she said to herself, I want to be with that guy. So it took Nagy a while to realize Nancy had a thing for him. And eventually they spoke, and speaking led to a date, which led to them becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, which led to a beach in Chicago to where we are today. I remember when I first met Nancy, it was at Nick's Beer Garden, of course, because that's where everything important happens, right? Kickball people. And I remember thinking, wow, this girl was fun, energetic, outgoing, smart, funny. Nagy better not screw this up. And I also thought, as long as he never says anything bad about Michigan State, they could be together for a really long time. So usually these speeches end with the best man giving maybe some kind of advice on what it takes for a successful marriage, and what you need to do to achieve that. So I thought the best way to do that to you both would be to relate to kickball, since that's where you met. So you both are a team now. You know, like the pitcher rolling the ball to the catcher, you work as one. Sometimes the result will be what you wanted, and other times it won't. But how you communicate and deal with those problems will only make your team that much stronger. Nobody likes a team that doesn't play fairly. And to be honest with each other is probably the best thing you can do for a successful marriage. There'll be times in your life where you hit a home run, like the birth of your first child, or celebrating birthdays or anniversaries. And then there'll be times where you strike out, where saying goodbye to a family member or friend. But how you two deal with the ups and downs will make you guys that much stronger and better for each other. So, after knowing both of you for a while now, and knowing how much you both love and care for each other, and how faithful you are for each other, I know your best kickball years are yet to come. So, to the right of your